What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Once again, we are league racing, this time for the US Grand Prix. This series, as well as many of my other series, are coming to an end. Well, simply because F1 2016 is coming to an end very, very soon. So here we are in the USA, driver standings. We're still sitting in third. We took a massive blow to the championship with Joe getting the win in Japan. He's now 1 point behind us. In terms of the overall championship, it's a two-horse race now between New Zealand Ryan and Fitcho. Fitcho still has the slimmest of chances. He's going to have to hope for a race win and some really bad luck to strike Ryan in this one to still be a hope of taking it to the finale in Brazil. But for us, though, it's all about having fun, seeing if we can maintain third in the driver's standings. That's going to be the aim heading into this one. I did a little bit of practice, like I did some race practice, which I don't normally do. And I feel like maybe it'll give me a better understanding of the car and what it's going to do over the course of the distance. Didn't get a full race in, but I got like the first stint and a half in. So yeah, we'll see how we go. In terms of the strategy, I've gone for like the softer strategy. So I've gone for like 3 sets of super soft tyres to use. So that should help us hopefully in qualifying, getting 3 runs in as opposed to just normally 2. So that definitely eases the pressure when it comes to qualifying. But Warden opens the account with a 137.9. That's not that great, to be honest. I think you want to be in the 36s around here, maybe even high 35s. But we open the account with a 37.1 and puts us in P2 at the end of our first lap. I can never like bang out a really good lap straight off the bat. I always have to build into it, which is kind of annoying. When it comes to these qualifying sessions, I'm always too tense or too nervous. I can't like flow the car how I'd like to. It's really annoying and something I definitely need to work on. So first run is done, 10 minutes to go. We've been demoted down to 4th place now as Joe puts in a time on the soft compound tyres. Pretty impressive time, to be honest. I don't know if he's going to stay on those tyres and go for the one stop. In terms of my strategy, yes, I will be planning to do the one stop. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Still in qualifying, though, of course. So here we go. Run number 2 in qualifying. New Zealand Ryan still topping the list at the moment. As we head into turn 1, I felt like I braked ever so slightly earlier than what I should have there. And shifted into first gear, which I don't know provided too much of a benefit. But going through this fast S's section, this is always a tricky spot for me, especially in qualifying. I thought for sure I was going to corner cut through here or have a lap disallowed, which was exactly what I didn't want. I think that's why my first lap was just so tedious. It just wasn't great. But this one I really let loose a bit more and was able to relax and get into the flow of things as well a bit more. Short shifting on the exit onto the straight there. I've been playing around with short shifting the last couple of weeks. I'm still kind of learning where best to short shift and gear selection and all that kind of thing, but like I said, it's probably too little too late for F1 2016, but who knows, it might be the way to go for 17, but if it is, then that's great. I'm still building on that. Purple through the middle sector now, up by 4/10, so I was a little bit, I didn't want to look at the delta, to be honest. I did want to see how much up I was by, because I knew that if I did, that I'd probably screw it up in the last couple of corners here. This is really nervous for me. Didn't want to turn in too early. Didn't want to run too wide either and have the lap disallowed. So it's very, very tough to get the car through there fairly cleanly through the final corner, up across the line, and that is a 136.3. Not too bad. I still could have improved a few areas like turn 1. Probably could have exited onto the start of the back straight a little bit better as well, and we would have been in the 35s, and that's AOR split 1 pace, which is quite mad. But third run here, I just tried way too hard into the first corner. I knew that the time that I had already set to begin with in the second run was amazing, and so I just thought I'll go all hell for leather, all guns blazing in the third stint, and nah, didn't amount to anything. So it's second place in the US Grand Prix in terms of qualifying. Joe opting to go on the supers towards the end, bagged himself a 35. Very impressive time, and I don't think anyone would have really touched him there today. HO, very good job from him. He qualifies in 3rd place and only a 10th and a bit away from me, so that's a dramatic improvement in pace over the last few weeks. Guys like HO, Harry Ryan, Brock does stuff, KMP4. They've been pretty pacey these last few rounds and have really been putting pressure on some of the championship leaders in terms of qualifying, which is really good to see. In terms of the race though, like I said, I'm going to be going for a one-stop. What I always do when it comes to a league race is I always look at the old AOR races and check their strategy, and apparently it's going to be a one-stop for this one. I normally go by what the Flying Finn does. His strategy didn't come up trumps for me in the last one in Japan. Apparently his strategy stuffed up for that one as well. But yeah, this one is going to be the one stop. But I am slightly worried though, because the recommended tyre, or the mandatory tyre, is the soft compound. And going by that, we're not going to be touching that tyre today. Now, hopefully it's okay. But last week we did get screwed over by the mandatory tyre rule. But we'll have to wait and see. Here we go. 5 red lights. And we will get this race underway for the Circuit of Americas. It's go time. Looks like a decent start versus Joe. We're at least going to be able to draw alongside him on the run into turn 1. Yellow flags down the order. Not too sure what that's about. There's a massive lock up there. Went in way too deep, and I probably squeezed out Joe a little bit there, and that's really not the run that I wanted through turn 1. I've given up the lead to New Zealand Ryan, and also my teammate who just squeezes in there in the nick of time. So it's not been a good start. Warden, I think, has got a track limits warning there, and we're going to have to kind of dig ourselves out of this mess now from P3 on the grid. I believe Joe is in P5 right behind me as well. So yeah, the 2 guys on the front row was just been a disastrous start. I didn't want to squeeze out Joe as much as what I did there at turn 1. It was just an honest mistake. So hopefully we'll get a replay of that going. But cutting to the end of the first lap now, and we get a warning for corner cutting. And Warden, my teammate, has actually just lagged behind me in all that drama there. But here's a replay of the start from the point of view of Ho, who got 3rd place. So yeah, you'll see Joe, nice start. He moves over to the inside to cover. Obviously he can't move all the way over, otherwise he would have really compromised himself. And then there, I just went in a bit deep, and Joe tucked in behind me there. So really bad start for both of us, unfortunately. And Fitcho got the worst start out of anyone. Completely rammed off at the start. It was actually quite lucky to get away with not being disqualified. There have been instances this season where plenty of people have been disqualified. Oh no! I've edited in the start twice, and I'm just going to have to roll with it now because I can't be asked to edit it out again. And that's a replay of the incident with Joe, in case you wanted to see it again. And there's a legitimate oh no impression of into the barrier there, right there from me. Yeah, that's the lag incident with Warden. Almost lost the spot to Ho as well. That's really weird. I've not seen someone lag back like that in years. I wonder if it's maybe an Xbox issue for Warden there. Maybe the game froze for him. I'm not entirely sure. That is an issue on PC sometimes. We carry on to lap 2 now, and that is Joe getting tangled up with Warden, I believe. You'll see on this replay from Ho, he looks behind, and we have to slow this down to kind of get a snapshot of what happened. And Joe DM'd me. He said that he just made contact with Warden's wheel there, and they kind of got glued together. So unfortunate incident there, maybe similar to what happened with me and Fitcho back in Malaysia. But we carry on to lap 3 now. Ryan has made a major mistake. He was leading by about a second, and now he's pretty much lost all of that now by running wide through one of the S's, and he's going to be under serious pressure now. It might even dive him if we are close enough to him into this hairpin corner. Not quite though, very, very close to his gearbox, and we're going to well and truly make sure we let him know that we are here. We have DRS, Slipstream, and Rich Revs to boot, so I think this might be a legitimate overtake for the lead. As long as we can draw alongside, we should be able to outbrake him up the inside, into the left-hander, and that is us back into the lead though. I've overshot the corner a little bit, and Ryan's done the over and under, and he's going to try and overtake me around the outside here. Cut back to Ho, who's got the best seat in the house for this battle. Ryan has the inside for the next left-hander, and I think he's going to get me, you know. Yeah, he does. He takes the lead back. Nice battle there, and we're just going to have to tuck in for now in 2nd place. Just went in a little bit too deep into that left-hander, locked up, and that is a corner-cutting warning for Ryan. You have 3 corner-cutting warnings when you have strict rules on before you get a 3-second penalty. And both of us are notched up on 1 warning so far. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this decides the race. It is very easy around Kota to get corner cutting warnings. It's just the nature of the track and how tight it is, and the kind of angling of the corners makes it very hard to avoid cutting corners. But we'll see how this progresses over the course of the race. Meanwhile, talking about corner cutting, I managed to get the position on Ryan, who got a really bad exit onto the back straight, and well, I didn't need a second invitation. Ryan just tucked into the slipstream and just tried to hold on from getting overtaken by HO, which he almost did, to be fair. But either way, he's looking pretty threatening in this third sector. I think this is probably Ryan's strong point. He looks very good through the very slow speed technical stuff. Probably has a better feel for the car with the rear tyres, and gets better traction down versus me. And I feel like I excel a bit better in the high speed stuff, especially in the first sector. But Ryan, does he go for a move? Not quite. I edged the car over ever so slightly on the approach to turn 1. That's my kind of driving style. I find it better to just edge the car over slowly into that corner, whereas other people might take a more flowing run in there. And whenever I do that, I just run wide, and it's completely messy. But lap 8, I think this is Ryan coming into the pits now. The super soft tyres were starting to feel pretty average at this point, and I decided to do a reactive strategy because we are doing a one-stop, and I wanted to make doubly sure that Ryan was going to jump onto the mediums, and which, in fact, he did. I didn't want to be the only guy to jump onto the mediums and then find out that the mandatory tyre rule was going to screw me over again, which it well could have, because since the last AOR race was 6 months ago, they could have changed the rulings on the tyres, because I think Kota might have been ran in between that time and whatever. So I just wanted to make doubly sure that I didn't screw myself over in terms of the strategy. So we're reacting on the next lap. Tyres are at 55%, and at that point they really start to drop off, and around 70% you get into that danger territory of punctures. But it's been a pretty good in-lap, it must be said. We should be fairly close to Ryan. I ran rich revs and really attacked on this in-lap, so I'm hoping that we at least rejoin in effective P2. Here comes Ryan on the outside. We might actually challenge him here into turn 1. I could have, you know, if I would have been more daring under brakes into turn 1, but you don't really want to do that on fresh tyres. It's so easy when the tyres are quite cold to just overshoot massively, and that could really resulted in tears for both of us. But second stint of the race now, both of us on the medium tyres, and the race kind of resets now as we both might potentially get a different feel on the harder compound of tyres. And Ryan has actually just cut the chicane there, and that's at least his second warning of the race now. So it seems that when he's under pressure at the moment, he's trying to build a gap at this time, and yeah, he's notched up his second corner cutting warning. He could have a penalty at this stage, and I think he might. So it's just down to us from here to make sure we keep it clean. Yeah, like I said, just so easy to get caught up in corner cutting warnings and extensions. It's really quite mad. But can we go for a move up the inside? No, not quite. We weren't really close enough, and Ryan defends quite well there. So at this stage, just trying to wait for a mistake to happen from Ryan. You know, I could push a little bit harder, but I kind of want to get a feel of the tyres at the moment, see if I can put him even further under pressure, maybe force another mistake or a corner cutting penalty or anything like that. We do have a bit of a gap to HO at this stage. I'd say it's about 2 or 3 seconds, so we do have a bit of a margin to play with. That's another cut from Ryan. Could be a penalty now, but I think that corner might be a little bit lenient on the track limits there. But yeah, once again, we're in the slipstream. This time we're in rich revs, and Ryan is trying desperately hard to break the slipstream, and I'm having none of it. Again, under brakes, we have a look, see if we can force something to happen. Nothing really happens there, so we hold on once again. Halfway through the race now, and oh, that was another close one. Ryan seems to be going a little bit slowly into that hairpin corner. That is an opportunity that could present itself later on in the race. We spooked Ryan into leaving us some space up the inside, and that presents an opportunity now through the middle sector, around the outside, and this could be an overtake for the lead, but no, Ryan gets better traction through the slower speed stuff. He is very solid through here, and again, go for another dive. Ryan this time loses the back end though, and that surrenders the lead to us. Effective lead. Harry Ryan still out at the moment on the soft compound tyres, I believe. But once he makes his stop, that should be all gravy for us with the effective lead. Again, that's a mistake for me now into the left-hander leading onto the straight. So it might be a curse of whoever's leading the race just keeps making mistakes, and it's inviting the guys behind us into this battle now. The gap to HO, hang on a second. That's me turning across Ryan. I didn't actually know he was that close, to be fair. But, yeah, I shut the door there. I didn't think he was that close, and we just clipped his front right end plate. Thankfully enough, there was no damage conceded there, but Ryan, again, now is on the attack, and we're going to see another switch for the lead. Once again, whoever is leading just can't seem to hold on to it. They can't just get on with it and pull away. And Ryan takes the lead back once again. Very nice move into the first corner. He was locked up and everything. We'll get a replay of this. Slipstream, DRS, Rich Revs. And Ryan here did really well to pull up the car and turn in for the corner while locking up fully into that left-hander. Nice move. But yeah, lap 16 now. Ryan has the lead once again, and as you can see here, he's quite evidently a bit weaker than me through the higher speed stuff. I don't know if it's down to his setup. I'm running with like 8.6 wings, and I'm guessing he's probably running with like 7.6 or something like that. But there we go. That was our third warning for the race in terms of corner cutting. So now I have a penalty too, and yeah, that makes things a little bit more difficult for the rest of this race. Really silly penalty to give away as well. Yeah. I really should have just held back there a little bit. Just was a bit greedy there into that corner. Now Ryan has made a bit of a mistake there. Ran in too deep for that right-hander. Made the approach for the left-hander much more difficult to negotiate. And his exit speed was terrible. We might go up the inside here. We know he's slow into this braking zone. Often brakes a little bit earlier than what I did. So I used that knowledge to get up the inside there and back into the lead though. Ryan got a nice exit and was all over me, but I think he lifted off there. I think he didn't want to take the lead there. Not too sure why, but just decided to tuck into the slipstream for the moment. You can see now there's a massive train that has formed behind us for the lead of the race, and that is Ryan, who has lost the back end quite badly out of the final corner. Yeah, this train includes myself, Ryan, HO, Greek Master, Joe, and possibly someone else as well. It might be Harry Ryan. It's absolutely mad how big this train is. It's giving me flashbacks to Germany. How, you know, everyone was so close, like the top 5 or 6. And, yeah, it was kind of a stalemate. I felt like in this race, I didn't really have that much pace, which was kind of annoying. Being at the front, I really wanted to pull away, but we were just getting drawn into this battle. It probably didn't help that we were exchanging positions so much. But, yeah. That's HO, who got in front of his teammate and unfortunately lost a bit of his front wing on the back of my car, going in a bit deep into the third sector. So he might drop off this battle pack fairly soon. That's Joe. He's gone off massively into the escape road in that left-hander after overtaking HO and gives that place straight back. So Joe, who got tangled up with Warden, has already made his way back onto this lead pack, and I'm guessing he wasn't feeling too patient there and trying to make a move on HO. Overshot the corner massively, and he's going to be putting pressure on us if he can get back in front of those guys once again. But yeah, 6 laps to go now. This is HO getting attacked by Joe, like I said, around the outside into the left-hander. This time Joe actually manages to pull up for the corner. I could be being too harsh on Joe here. He might have got hit off. That is entirely possible with the lag especially, but round the outside into the left-hander. Can he make the move stick? Often the guy who's got the inside here reigns supreme and manages to pull that off. But Joe again round the outside through the fast right-hander, and that is a really nice move. Very brave. It's very easy with someone who's on the inside, especially with front wing damage, to understeer wide and possibly hit you off, but those guys did well to keep it clean. 5 laps to go now. And Joe now has clear air. He's probably going to be chasing us down now. And Ryan and myself have realized that we just need to up the tempo a little bit. And that's definitely not upping the tempo. We just went in too deep. Pushed too hard. And now Ryan goes up the inside into the final corner. Left him space, but didn't amount to anything. Thankfully, we hold on to the lead for the moment. Like I said, things are getting kicked up a notch, and we're going to see a lot more battling here. Ryan, desperate, up the inside, into the first corner. No, not quite. I thought he got me there, but we just had enough legs on him to pull away from him there with the traction and hold on to the lead of the Grand Prix. So 4 laps to go now. Fuel isn't really an issue. It's really just a case of burning as much fuel as I can. I can run rich pretty much everywhere on the straights. It's really just a case of making sure I hold on track and avoid any kind of corner cutting warnings or penalties from here on in, because we know Ryan, I think, has a 3-second penalty and I have one as well. Don't know about the guys behind us as well, but we just have to assume that they don't, and we have to just stay ahead on track to have any chance of winning. But yeah, it's getting very tight. Ryan is really putting on the pressure here. He's pretty much within a tenth or two, pretty much everywhere around the track. He goes for a move again up the inside into turn 1. I have to leave him space again. Round the outside, better traction, and this time he's still alongside, and here he should have held on. He should have stuck it around. Well, he would have had the inside for the S's there, but he decided to back out there, and I was willing to run side by side through the S's to hold on to the lead there, but Ryan thought better of it. I really would have been interested to see what would have happened if the two of us made it through there. Probably would have resulted in a crash, but yeah, wasn't to be. Joe was out of the race. He slowed and retired. I think he might have disconnected, which is very unfortunate with so little time remaining in the race. Penultimate lap now. Again, I've overshot the penultimate corner. I was losing the plot. I was so nervous, tensing up so much. Just wanted to hold on to the lead, and yeah, I just wanted to make sure above anything else that I didn't bottle it, because I've done that too many times. You guys know. I came very close to bottling it in Italy, running off way too wide in the first corner, but let's just hopefully avoid any kind of major mistakes in this one. That'd be very lovely. Final lap through the S's. This is where we can stretch our legs a little bit and pull away from Ryan, which we have done all race. It's just from after this right-left chicane bit here that Ryan starts to get the advantage back. We seem to be better in a straight line as well. He doesn't really challenge us on the straights too much unless he's really close, which I find a bit puzzling. It's just the third sector, the slow bits, where Ryan really makes up a lot of ground on me. But we're going to do our absolute best to maintain the gap here, break the slipstream, weave on the straight, anything possible to keep that margin as big as what we can. The slipstream is so powerful in this game, and you just want to do everything you can to keep him behind with such little time to go. Ryan, look at that, 2/10 is the difference between the two of us after 28 laps of racing, just about an hour, and the two of us have been glued together this entire race. Again, nice exit for Ryan. He might challenge me into the penultimate corner if he goes for a dive, but I've just got to make sure I hit these apexes. I'll probably go in a bit slow, a bit conservative into this one, make sure I don't run wide like I have previously, and I think that should be it for this race. Final corner, and there we go. We've won the US Grand Prix. So there we go, guys. That has been the US Grand Prix. I just hope that I've been able to convey how tense and exciting that race was to take part in. It was absolutely mental. Everyone in the field who finished got a penalty. That's how hard it was to avoid the track limits on strict corner cutting rules. It was absolutely outrageous, but yeah, awesome battle. That's what league racing is all about. And finally, it was nice to get a battle at the front with New Zealand Ryan. We were kind of robbed of that opportunity back in Hungary when we disconnected. But yeah, really good to have that race in the end. So much pressure was applied from Ryan. It was quite outrageous. But yeah, it was a really, really fun and enjoyable battle at the same time. Shame that I think Joe disconnected in the last 3 laps. That would have really made things interesting if he would have tagged onto the back of us with his additional pace and fresh tyres. But yeah, that's been this race for today, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you did, make sure you smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more racing game content. We have the final episode coming next week. That's at Brazil. can't win the championship. Speaking of the championship, New Zealand Riders actually won the championship today due to Fitcho's bad luck today, taken out on the first lap, and no safety car to recover that lost ground. So, yeah, unfortunate to Fitcho, but he put up a really good fight, was very consistent this season, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. Driver standings, you'll see them up on the screen now. We're still in third place, 175 points. We're very close to Fitcho, so we could get P2 in the standings in the next one if we beat Fitcho by 3 points. So, yeah, the battle for second is well and truly on. The Constructors as well is very tight as well between us and Force India. So, lots to play for in the finale. Hopefully you guys can stick around and enjoy that one. But, yeah, until then, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.